Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association. Missouri produces wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details on the variety of products made in the state are at choosewood.com.
We hope you enjoy listening to this podcast of St. Louis on the Air, brought to you by University College at Washington University. With undergraduate and graduate programs, part-time, evening, and online. University College at Washington University, offering world-class education within reach.
Welcome to St. Louis on the Air. I'm Don Marsh. Fair St. Louis comes home to the Arch Grounds next week for the 4th of July celebration. It's been 5 years since the event's been held downtown. It returns to a renovated venue, now officially renamed the Gateway Arch National Park. Joining me to talk about the event is James Boldt, the General Chairman of Fair St. Louis 2018. James, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Don. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. I'm surprised you can take the time to be with us. This has to be a very busy time for you.
We are busy. We've got hundreds of volunteers and thousands of man-hours going to work down there.
Okay, well, let's hit some of the highlights. Sure. What could we expect of this returned fair to downtown?
Well, we're back where we started. We started this back in 1981, and now after some years in the city and 4 years in Forest Park, the Gateway Arch National Park is back online, or coming back online in the next few days, and we're happy to celebrate this renewed, beautiful, iconic park we have.
And I guess you can even handle more people now. They've expanded the territory down there a little bit.
Well, the museum certainly has expanded, and I've had a quick peek inside, not a very big tour, but it is spectacular. It is just dynamic down there.
We spent some time talking about that yesterday. I think a lot of people are eager to have a look. Okay, what are some of the highlights of the fair this year?
Well, the highlights is we're gonna operate on Wednesday, July 4th, Friday, July 6th, and Saturday, July 7th. So Wednesday, after the parade that's running down from west to east, starting at 9:30, our gates will open at the end of the parade at noon. So our first new addition for 2018 is the Boeing Air Show's coming back. So that's spectacular, and that starts about 12:30.
So that'll be a little noisy downtown around 12:30.
It sure will. It'll continue the celebration for America's birthday parade all the way through down to the Arch Grounds.
Tell me a little bit more about the parade. It's a typical and traditional event for the fair. Is it still a veiled prophet kind of motif?
It is, and the Veiled Prophet organization is an organization of philanthropists who put this parade on. This is their 136th year of doing this, so it's a terrific gift to the city, and it's bigger and better this year.
Okay. Any idea how many? What do you call them?
Floats,
participants in the parade.
Elements, hundreds and hundreds. The honorary Grand Marshal is our own Denny Reagan from the Muni this year, so we're honored to have him lead St. Louis down Market Street to the Arch.
This is a 100th anniversary present for him, 100th anniversary for the Muni.
It's a great thing.
What about, speaking of the Muni, what about entertainment?
Well, we've got, on the 4th of July, of course, we've got the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra that's headlining for us, and they've been with us before, but it's been some time. So, on the 4th of July, celebrating all about St. Louis, we thought it fitting to have one of the world's most renowned orchestras playing from St. Louis, obviously, on our Enterprise main stage.
Mm-hmm. And pop stars, of course?
Yeah, Wednesday is the symphony, of course, and then Friday the 6th, we've got a local band, Dirty Mugs, and then, of course, Andy Grammer, and our headliner is Jason Derulo, who'll go on around 8 o'clock.
All right. Well, it sounds like that's a pretty good lineup.
Let's not forget Saturday.
I know. Well, I want to get there. What about Friday? Oh, you mentioned Friday.
Friday's Andy and Jason Derulo's the headliner. Saturday, our gates are at noon again, and we've got entertainment all day long up until our salute to the troops at around 5:30. And then, of course, we've got Daniel Bradbury, Ray Lynn, Michael Ray, and our headliner, Martina McBride, starts around 8 o'clock. And every night, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 9:30, we have at Jones Fireworks.
Yeah, okay. But everyone is looking forward to that, of course. What is the Salute to the Troops all about? The
Salute to the Troops is put on by Brigadier General David Irwin and his wife, Karen, and they have been tirelessly working to celebrate and honor 300-plus military people from around this region, and we found it fitting a bunch of years ago to begin this project. It's grown every year, and they do a terrific job honoring our military people to make the 4th of July what it is. Mm.
Do you have any kind of estimate as to how many people you might be expecting this year as we return to the riverfront?
I think the best estimates we've been able to sort of get. We don't take hard numbers, but we think somewhere between 150 and 300,000 people over the course of the 3 days.
Managing that many people is an issue. How is that going to be handled?
Well, we've got a very secure perimeter, which fairgoers are pretty familiar with. So we've got 5 entrances that are all manned, and there are checkpoints at every entrance. So once you're in, you're free to roam about the fairgrounds, up on the arch grounds, and down those great, beautiful grand staircase down to Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard, where that's all activated with a bunch of neat activities for the whole family.
These days, unfortunately, we have to take a look at security. You say there's a secure perimeter, but when you get crowds together, people are concerned about that.
No, well, security's always been our primary concern, and we've been doing this for 38 years. We've had a very effective and very thorough security plan in place with the police department, the fire department, the National Park Service, private security teams, and other government agencies to put together a plan that ensures our fairgoers' safety. So that's always been our primary concern.
You're going to have a lot of people down there who are just worried about that or concerned about that and dealing with that.
Well, they are. Oh, absolutely. Professionals and, fairgoers themselves are very, very good. Our fairgoers are terrific, and they have been for years and years and years. They're always mindful of what's going on around them, and they're, I have to say, some of the best behaved fairgoers I've ever seen, and I've been doing this for 20 or 30 years.
Now, what are you going to do about the weather?
I'm going to do everything I can about the weather.
We don't want something like what we had last night happening at any time during the fair.
No, and we have a meteorologist on staff who works just for us and watches just our little footprint down there for us. So that's something we rely on heavily. We're going to be warm is what we're hearing right now. Sure. We believe at this point, and forecasts are just that forecast, but we believe we're going to have hot. So that's what people need to really remember. It's going to be hot.
This has happened before. I've been down there many, many years during the fair. We do have storms. The terrain gets muddy. There's always the potential for having some damage to brand new property down there.
Well, there is, and hats off to the National Park Service. They have been such terrific partners, and they are real caretakers and custodians and curators of those arch grounds. They look absolutely spectacular. And so we are taking extraordinary steps to maintain that and protect that environment just as they do. So they've been wonderful with us. And our fairgoers understand that this is a brand new, beautiful museum upstairs on the grass and down below for us. And I think they'll treat it respectfully as they have all of our venues.
Now, what about food?
Food, lots of it, all kinds of it. New elements, old elements, up on the arch grounds, down below in Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard. Churchfield is coming with some sampling. It's a new element for us with pork. Patron's coming down, and other things down in Lenore K. Sullivan, all kinds of the traditional favorites, too.
Any particular special events for the youngsters?
All kinds. Scope is back with their STEAM exhibit, which is the Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math program, and that's expanded, and that's in the Purina zone. And of course, we've got the Purina Pro Plan dogs that are coming back, and those athletes are just really exciting to watch too. Plenty of activity and activations down on Lenore K. Sullivan. It's interactive for children, and plenty of stuff up on the arch grounds.
What else do we need to know about what's going on that we haven't mentioned?
Plan ahead. Parking is going to be good. Unfortunately, our Cardinals are out of town, so what that does is that opens up a lot of our garage parking there, and that's very, very close to our arch grounds. But Metrolink, our fabulous partner, we've got Metrolink stops at the landing and at the convention center, so that's a great way to do it. We've got bike parking in Keener Plaza. You can always walk. But driving is going to be a pretty easy thing this week simply because the Cardinals being out of town. Yeah,
and access to the grounds is certainly improved this year with the new park over the Parkway.
That beautiful overpass is spectacular. When you stand at the top of the stairs of the old courthouse and look down at Luther Eli Smith Park, and when you used to see the highway, now you see this beautiful greenscape leading into the new entrance to the museum. It's really spectacular.
You're pretty excited about this.
I really
James.
am. We've been waiting for this. It's been a long time coming. We're happy to be back where we started. And when we talked to the Arch folks last year about coming back down, we immediately started getting excited about it.
You mentioned your partnerships. Who are some of the partners?
The terrific ones. Let's start with the National Park Service. Let's start with the City of St. Louis. I mean, the police and fire, the City Emergency Management Authority. MoDOT has been spectacular. The City Streets Department. Everybody, every city entity has been a partner with us.
Give me some sense of what the logistics of putting something like this together are. I mean, you talk about a lot of partners, and a lot of pieces to this enterprise.
There are. We started planning this, in the fall, which was a little late for us. Actually, we started planning for this event, July 7th or 8th. But the logistics are: we've got thousands of man hours down there with trusted vendors. We've got hundreds and hundreds of volunteers putting in thousands of hours as well. So that collaboration begins as early as, in August. It will begin in August this year, and it's a huge collaborative effort.
Right. Well, is there anything else you want to mention before we say goodbye?
Yeah, head to fairstlouis.org, the website. Check that out. Download the app and plan ahead and plan for the weather.
All right. We'll put a link to that website on our website at stlpublicradio.org. Sounds like a lot of fun as usual. Hope the weather holds off and that it's just hot and not wet.
It will be. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you. Thanks to James Boldt, General Chairman of Fair St. Louis 2018. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio, 90.7 KWMU.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.